All right, I have to tell you guys this Ronnie Coleman story. It was June 2017. I was in Toronto, Canada for the Toronto Pro Show with Rise, who, as you know, eventually dropped me for not selling enough t-shirts. But I was there at the expo and we're just cruising down the highway. It was after a long day. I look over to my left and it is none other than the king, Ronnie Coleman. So inevitably, I did what anyone else would do. I rolled my window down and I had one simple request.
We're gonna yeah, buddy? Yeah, buddy.
Not only did he give me a yeah, buddy, he posted it to his Instagram, so I can officially say I was on Ronnie Coleman's Instagram page. Life goals right there. So go ahead, give this video a like for Ronnie, 8-time Mr. Olympia, arguably the best bodybuilder of all time. If you ask me, my bias is that he is, in fact, not only for what he's accomplished on stage, but just him as a human. He has a contagious personality. It's impossible not to like the guy. So tomorrow, we are going to try out Ronnie Coleman's diet. I asked Alfie if he thinks I can do it. He's like, Dad, I eat 5,500 calories, 500 grams of protein every single day. That's not even impressive, but for me, it might be a bit of a struggle. All right, I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, guys, let's get straight into this. I'm actually pretty excited for today's video, which is kind of funny because I'm not a big bodybuilding fan per se. I don't watch the competitions. I'm not a big fan of the sport in general, but I am a big fan of Ronnie Coleman. So very typical bodybuilding meal here with a little southern twist. So 2 cups of egg whites. I've had egg whites in a lot of different people's diets that I've tried on this channel if you guys want to check those out. And also we have got some grits, which I never really heard of anyone eating until I moved to the South. Ronnie is from Louisiana, and thankfully Ronnie is a fan of coffee, which you guys know is probably my favorite food group. So we're gonna get straight into this, but before we start eating, let me know down below who is your favorite bodybuilder of all time. I also did a video eating like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I like to put in the whole egg.
He puts the freaking egg in the mix. What a weirdo. And then if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave it linked down below, but let's just get straight into it. I really don't know how anyone can actually enjoy eating egg whites. I understand their purpose in bodybuilding, and if you add some salt and pepper and the right seasonings, they're not too bad. If you cook them right, like Chick-fil-A, they know how to cook some egg whites. But me, they're just not the best, especially that many. That was a lot of egg whites. But that is finished. I'm going to move on to these grits. I always save the best for last. But the one thing about Ronnie that I think is extremely impressive is that he was still working his full-time job when he won his first few Olympias, which is crazy. I mean, back in the day, bodybuilding wasn't as popular as it is today, so he still had to hold down a job in order to fund his hobby at that time, which was bodybuilding. And the guy has a work ethic like I've never seen. If you ever seen him training in the gym, it's just crazy. And he was working as a cop. I mean, so obviously a very challenging job. And we'll see how many times we're gonna say, yeah, buddy, throughout this video, but I'll have Greg start tallying that up. It's just impossible, man. I'm telling you. The guy's personality is just awesome. All right, we are done with meal number 1, and it was very easy to get down. It was okay, not the best tasting thing in the world, but could have been a lot worse. 485 calories, 59 protein, 36 carbs, and 11 grams of fat. However, things are going to get much more difficult as we progress throughout this video. I think what he's really aiming for is just to get in food as quickly as possible. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast not too long ago, and he was talking about how he used to wake up in the middle of the night just to get meals in. Now that is dedication to your craft. So before we move into meal number 2 officially, he has a little supplement break there in the middle. So what he has right after meal number 1 is 1 serving of Bcaas. Now I wish I could tell you guys that you take this, you start to look like Ronnie Coleman. Unfortunately, it's probably not the truth, but I take Bcaas personally because I train fasted. So in the morning, this is just kind of an insurance policy where I'm making sure that muscle is not breaking down. For someone like Ronnie Coleman, who's eating over 500 grams of protein, I really question the need for something like this, but hey, I'm no scientist myself. You guys know my preferred Bcaa is the sour green apple from PE Science. You can always use Travis to save 15%. I drink it in the morning, like I said before I train. I also drink it throughout the day because one, it tastes delicious. It helps me drink more water. And if I'm getting hungry, it really helps suppress my appetite. And BCAAs are the building blocks of muscle, so they're not gonna hurt anything. I just don't know that if you're limited on funds, that this is absolutely going to be necessary for a lot of people out there. But if you do have the resources, it is a great supplement to add in. So I'm gonna drink this. I'll probably be able to finish this in like 10 minutes because it tastes so good, and we'll get right into meal number 2. So what you're seeing over here is over 2.5 pounds of chicken, which I'll be eating throughout the day. First meal starting with 1 pound, approximately 2 breasts there, a little bit over. So these are going to be chipotle chili, and these are lemon garlic, just for a little bit of variation. I'm actually pretty excited for this cornbread. I've not had cornbread in a long time, and not something you see in an average bodybuilding diet, but Ronnie Coleman did do things a little bit differently. So we've got some red beans over here, and then some brown rice as well. Okay, this one might be a little bit more difficult than meal number 1. So we are looking at 2 8-ounce chicken breast, a cup and a half of rice, cup and a half of red beans, and 2 pieces of cornbread. And we all know how much Ronnie loved his barbecue sauce, and he'd probably hate me for not eating Sweet Baby Ray's, but this right here is a sugar-free Carolina barbecue sauce. Typically, G. Hughes is my go-to, but I saw this at Harris Teeter, decided to give it a try, and wow, if you ever see Lily's sugar-free barbecue sauce, I don't want to say it's better than G. Hughes, but it's just Carolina barbecue sauce is just different, you know? So you take some bland old chicken breast, you dip it in that right there. Oh man, it just completely changes the flavor in a good way. That was a lot of chicken and rice, and I did save the cornbread for last as a little dessert here. And for me, it's impossible not to think of the movie Life when you see cornbread. If you guys have never seen that movie, you're missing out. I don't even like movies, but Eddie Murphy is amazing. And the iconic scene with the cornbread.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
You can't have my cornbread, that's for damn sure. Because if you try to take my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree gonna begin up in here on your ass right now.
So for me, I am definitely going to be eating this cornbread. And Megan was telling me that actually she uses pinto beans, but he eats red beans. But you're supposed to put the beans on the cornbread. It just seems so foreign to me. Let me try it. Let me try it like this, I guess. Beans and bread. Nope. Why would you ruin the cornbread? This is I think it's called, is it Jif? Swift? Something like that. I don't know, it's like 60 cents a box, which is pretty awesome. So if I like this, maybe I should just incorporate that into my normal diet. It's a bit dry, could use a little bit of butter, but we're sticking to the bodybuilding diet, you know, and it's actually kind of surprising. Most bodybuilders, I would say, speaking at a high level, are eating very clean foods, but Ronnie was always notorious for incorporating some other more fun foods. Honestly, I think sometimes just to get in some calories, because to eat 5,000, 6,000 clean calories per day, it's a lot of eating. Anyone else's dog only behave if they think they're gonna get a snack. This little man, he's been barking all day with this food. But anyway, that meal was a little bit more of a beast. So we're looking at 1,715 calories, 178 grams of protein, 186 grams of carbs, and 29 grams of fat. And I'm definitely feeling it's just like all sitting right there in my stomach. And unfortunately for me, that was my pre-workout meal. I've definitely been taking a few more bathroom breaks with this one. This is not going to be very easy to get through, but hopefully getting in some exercise. Excuse me, sir? Did you have something to say? No? Time to train, yeah, buddy! I know you guys are really gonna miss seeing me hit up that Smith machine and 50-pound dumbbells, but just imagine a training session even more hardcore than Ronnie.
I wouldn't say we made it, but we made it through.
I came home and little Alfie tackled me. He said, Dad, you are not leaving again. So apparently, we're gonna just hang out here for the rest of the video here at home. Is that what you want, buddy? Is that what you want? All right, meal number 3. This is looking very similar to when I did the Rock's diet. And who would win in an altercation, The Rock or Ronnie Coleman? Obviously in their primes. Ronnie, he's a little banged up right now, unfortunately. I feel really bad for him with all those surgeries, but needless to say, they're both beasts. So another 2 8-ounce chicken breasts, a medium-sized baked potato, and again, guys, this barbecue sauce makes this chicken so much more manageable. So it's not a lot in terms of calories, but all of that chicken is not easy to get down. But moving on to this potato. So all in, that was about 915 calories, 144 grams of protein, 48 carbs, 16 grams of fat. And really, I'm still feeling okay. It's just, with all that protein, it just kind of sits in your stomach. And again, this is meant for Ronnie Coleman, who's just a little bit bigger than me. I probably have just about as much muscle. I think he just has a little bit of height on me. But I would have to say, unless you're like on his level, you don't need anywhere near this amount of protein. It's kind of overkill to an extent, and really 5,500 calories isn't going to be a big challenge for me. I can do that on any given Sunday, but just eating these types of food is what makes it a little bit more challenging. One of the best tasting drinks in the entire world is this Gatorade Zero mixed with 2 scoops of the PES Sour Green Apple BCAAs. I love this combination. So this is the second of the 3 servings of BCAAs that he has throughout the day. He really loves this supplement. And I already know this is where someone's gonna comment down below, oh, that's not the only supplement that he likes. Of course, guys, when you're at that level, when you're that size, you have some special sauce going in your body. And I don't think that these guys are really lying or trying to hide that. I mean, it's pretty evident. And for some reason, every time I do one of these videos, someone thinks, or a lot of people thinks that that's like a really funny comment to leave. I don't know, it's not that creative to me. But anyway, I mean, I've taken a few in my day, but I would say it's a lot better than a lot of the actors and actresses and entertainment people that are taking a lot worse drugs than those, in my opinion. But I don't know why we're even talking about drugs right now. Drugs aren't cool, kids. Don't do them. None of them. You don't need them. But I am going to have my BCAAs, which are friendly. They're family friendly. And I tell you what, this tastes delicious. What a beautiful day it turned out to be. What you doing there, bud? Huh? What you doing? You having fun? Little Alfie does not like the camera. Every time I pull it out, he starts biting me. Buddy, it's okay. I asked your momager. She said that you could get on camera. Get me some likes. Like the video for Alfie, guys. Come on, man. Stop biting. Gotta stop being a jerk, man. Gotta be honest, I'm feeling very sluggish right now. And unfortunately for me, this last meal, is it meal 4, meal 5? One of those is the biggest meal of the day. Cameraman, what you whipping up?
I didn't know I was gonna be on camera.
She said that she is off work today, so she's not allowed to be on camera, but we can't have a video without cameraman. We've had a lot of Alf, but we need some cameraman. All right, so she's gonna make us some steaks in the air fryer, and just look at these bad boys. Look at them. She whips up steaks perfectly. Am I as big as Ronnie Coleman?
Yeah, buddy.
See? That's why she's got the ring right there. She's a keeper. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have my last serving of BCAAs here with dinner. Mr. Alf, you cannot have. If you watch Chris Jones, especially back in the day, you already know what BCAAs do. Please let me know in the comments down below. I love that guy. All right, guys, look at this dinner. This is pretty intense. So I've got about 10 ounces of steak, a lot of French fries. We got more chicken, which I am so excited about. And then another medium to large size baked potato. The one thing I will say, these are rosemary French fries from Alexia. So good. I would give those like a 9.42 out of 10. French fries, not the cleanest food, right? But again, it comes down to a point where he's just got to get in the calories. So that meal was 1,208 calories, 94 grams of protein. Felt like it was more than that. 111 carbs and 43 grams of fat. In my stomach, it doesn't feel all that great, if I'm being honest. There's just something going on in there, but you would think he'd be done for the day, but of course not. He ends the day with the protein shake. So I'm gonna be using the Peas Science Peanut Butter Cup. This does taste like dessert. It is delicious. I love it. Again, you could use Travis and say 15%, but this is the problem with this. So, you know, normal protein shake, you might have a scoop, right? Makes sense. Maybe if you're a real big guy, you'll have 2 scoops, possible. But if you're Ronnie Coleman, you're gonna throw 3 scoops? No. This is Ronnie Coleman. He's gonna throw 4 scoops. Wow, it's the most delicious protein shake I've ever had. But talk to me at the end of this thing. It's gonna feel bad. Oh, Alf, how you doing today, man? A little bit better than me. You know who I feel bad for? Cameraman. She has to lay in bed next to me all night. Might be a long one for you, cameraman. I apologize in advance. Oh. Nothing like a 100-gram protein shake to end the night. Or 96 grams of protein, 8 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fat. That, no bueno, guys. No bueno. Like I said, for most people, this is gonna be extreme overkill and probably even. Excuse me, sir? But that's it. And when I look at the total calories, the interesting thing here is that they said it was 5,500, but what I calculated is right around 5,000 calories. 573 grams of protein. Ridiculous. 422 grams of carbs, 110 grams of fat. So all those things in line, right? But the protein is just outrageous. Now, I do feel a moral obligation to hit 5,500 calories because I told you I would at the beginning of the video. I don't have much of an appetite at all, really, because those foods are very satiating. But there's one food, specifically on Sundays, that I can always get down. All right, so as you can see, we have the 3 new flavors, and just look at these, guys. Just take a look. So this is one that they brought back from last year. This is the Grande Sexy. It's like a cinnamon sugar with caramel in there. It's one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, the ooey and the gooey. I absolutely love this cookie. And I'm just reading here, these are all meant to be state fair flavors. So that was actually meant to be like a churro, which is very true to flavor. And then this one, it's called Sticky Fingers, caramel apple. Let's just try to get a bite of this. Just imagine a warm caramel apple stuffed inside of a cookie. And then this beautiful thing over here, this is called Sugar Mama, I believe. Cotton candy cookie. Typically, not a big fruity fan, but we'll give it a try. I prefer the other two, but I'm very pleasantly surprised with this cookie. Now we are officially at 5,500 calories and I am officially stuffed. And if you guys are new here, Fat and Weird Cookies release every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They usually sell out within about 10 minutes. So if you want them, you have to be on there right at that time. You can use Travis to save an extra 10%. But wow, my stomach has not felt like this in quite some time. I think I'm gonna be feeling this one for the next day or so. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please drop it a like. I would really appreciate that. If there's anyone else's diet you want me to try out, let me know in the comments down below. But thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to watch. You could have been doing anything in the entire world. I don't know why I just thought about this, but he does not eat any fruits or vegetables. Weird. We can talk about that in another video. But you chose to spend a few minutes with me. That is pretty awesome. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I look forward to talking to y'all next time.